Welcome back to the channel. My name's Cody. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday on business adventures that I'm going through and how it can help you go faster in yours. Today's topic is personal finance, specifically targeting people who have personal obligations, personal debts, liabilities. Think about a credit card, think about a car loan, maybe you've got a house loan, maybe you've even got a rental property or a SBA loan. Look at all your loans, and on the finance side topic for today, it's specifically hammering through these debts. I believe it's a great thing if you have long-term debts that are related to your business that give you tax benefits for the things that you've been able to buy with them. However, on the personal side, debt sucks. Car payments suck, credit cards suck. I know because I've had both of those things in the past. And what I want to encourage you to do is write out all these things on a list when it comes down to paying them down. And the difference between what I'm going to share and what most people share is which order you pay them off. Because mathematically, there's one that's going to be a lot easier for you, and short-term and long-term. So when you list them all out, list out how much you owe and what your current payment is. Don't look at the interest rate right now. Just look at how much do you owe and what's your actual payment. And what we're going to look at and try and solve for here is your actual net cost on the money. We're not looking at just the interest rate, but we're looking at the principal and interest. The reason I encourage this is some people will owe $100,000 on a home and their payment will be $600 a month. They're amortized over 30 years, 7.2% interest. Then you might have a car loan that is a $25,000 loan, but you have a $500-$600 payment. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, take your actual payment, multiply it by 12 months. That's going to give you your annual debt cost, divided into however much you borrowed or however much you owe at that point in time. That's going to give you your actual realized cost on the money. Now, eventually, yes, it'll be paid off. Eventually, the payment will go away. And on a car, it'll go away faster than a house. But I want you to line up all your debts, your credit cards, maybe you got student loans, you got a house loan, you got a car loan. When you take the annual payments you're making towards this, you divide it by the loan amount. That's going to give you a percentage. Whichever percentage is the highest, pay that off first. An example, let's say you got a car, you owe $30,000, and you're paying it off over the course of 5-6 years. If your payment is $500, no matter how much of that's interest or principal pay down, it's $500 a month, $6,000 a year. I'm going to take that $6,000 divided into $30,000 I borrowed to 20% cost on the capital that you borrowed. Now, it may not be all interest. A lot of it's probably paying it down. But if you hammer that down, if you focus on paying that back, you're going to get a realized 20% cash on cash return. It's what it's going to feel like while you're working on paying through the rest of your debts. Meanwhile, you might have a home loan, 6% interest, but the realized cost only feels like 7.2. So you take your payment, multiply it by the 12 months, divide it out. This may not make sense until you write it all out, but take your annual payments, divide it into however much you owe, and it's going to give you a percentage cost. This has been super important and helpful for me to figure out, what do I actually pay off? What's going to feel the best and help me speed through these debts the fastest? It was never about the interest rate. I'd pay off an 8% rate on a car before I pay off a 12% rate on a piece of property, because the car amortization sucks. If you do the math, you'll actually see that it's way easier to get your cash flow back on the shorter amortization loans. So map them all out, and then at that point you can calculate how long would it actually take to get through all these debts if I go the most efficient path, and it's usually a lot faster than you think. If this didn't make sense, watch it again, and if it truly didn't make sense after that, let me know in the comments. I'll make a better video on it, maybe with a spreadsheet. But if you look at your annual payments into your actual amount that you owe, it's going to give you a percentage. Pay off whichever one has the highest percentage first, and then move down the list. This helped me. It can help you. And make sure you keep it simple. If you have more questions on this, ask in the comments. If it truly doesn't make sense, I'll help it make sense to you. And hit subscribe if you like this type of content.